Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. Happy July 7th, 7/7. Powerful day. Lots of powerful energy as we go into the 8/8 portal. Yeah, I'm feeling it. I've been feeling really great, like wonderful dreams and traveling around. And last night was just bumpy. I don't know if anybody else felt those energies, but um like work, I said I felt like I was constantly working and clearing and working and clearing and working and clearing. So I didn't get much sleep, which is unusual. So that's the first in a while. So was a little intense. And I also had a dream this week that was really interesting. As we travel, as the timelines are merging, and we begin to do this kind of lucid dreaming, astral travel, even in your meditation. I've been going through a lot of portals, which are great, and kind of moving people. And some of you have been in there with me, like moving people into this new timeline where it's beautiful and opulent. And the one night I had a dream, I was actually trying to call Michael's mom to come, and Angel to come and go through, Angel's her caregiver, to go through the portal, and he was bringing them, and the portal seemed off, and it was like kind of dull, and I was like, something doesn't feel right here. And all of a sudden I said, stop, don't go through. And I had the awareness that it was an artificial portal kind of put into the matrix. And so it was like, wow. And if we went through voluntarily, right, without having discernment, I'm not so sure where we would have ended up. So I feel like as the veils get thinner, and all of this is to really be in discernment and really feel into your feeling and your emotion when you're having some of these experiences, because there is such a thing as trickster energy, or energies that love to uh use our energy systems. So anyway, I would just say discernment is really key, and just riding the waves of this kind of erratic energy. It feels erratic to me today, but it's been very smooth.
Right. I mean, it's energetically what I'm picking up or feeling in my own inquiry of the energies and my own interplay with them between the third dimensional processing perceptive unit that we call the physical body and those which are opening, right? We have these higher sensory perceptive vehicles coming online, right? To be able to see things and feel things. And we're like babes in the woods from this physical body incarnation level of seeing things, right? We're just kind of opening up to them, and there's a need for discernment, as Denise said, right? There's this need for discernment, like not everyone out there or everything out there or every energy out there is looking to support you, but there's a millions that are, right? And how to play in that genre, or how to play in that game when we're the new fish. We're just opening up to that and having our inquiry. So, and an awareness that when we do tap into those things, this vehicle interprets it from a third dimensional perspective. And sometimes it comes across as nefarious or erratic or
Uncomfortable.
and it is at a physical level, or it shows itself as maybe looks kind of like a dark energy or a kind of a staticky energy or something, and yet it has a benevolence to it, or a transformation, or maybe it's coming from source. And so we're in that inquiry of what are these energies and how do we engage in them. So especially since what do we just have, the summer solstice? This is like this new birthing happen.
We had a new moon. Wow, that was powerful. That was January,
We have all these
July
new
5th.
alignments that are happening, right? And so things are opening up and accelerating. And how do we engage in that? How do we let go of these of changing the energy so that it fits into a third dimensional box that we can engage with? Like we change the energy so that we change the energy so that they fit into some memory that we have, and we can go, oh yeah, I understand that now. Rather than being, we kind of change it to match this realm. And what it's kind of showing me is that, what if you just left it alone and allowed it to lead you into the new realm, right? It's kind of this, like, do we stay here and try and or do we open up to it? How do we engage with it to integrate it rather than change it so that it fits into our past
Patterning.
past memories, all of the conditioning that we call our personality, right? Our ego, right? So that was just one of the things that I'm playing with. And this new birthing energy, it's going to be new. It's like it's source code energy. It wants to rewrite lower forms of energy, but it wants to nourish, and it's a divine mother frequency. It's, when I've engaged with Sirius, it's always been the star Sirius, and the Sirius being like, there's beings in Sirius, and then there's like the consciousness of the totality of Sirius, like there's like a being. It's like, it always kind of came across as the All Father, or kind of like something from Thor, from the Thor things. But now it's the mother, the Sirian mother's there, and it's like, wow, this she wants to support, and she wants to elevate things and nourish things and support us in that. And so, but it means kind of rewriting the lower frequencies where we've dwelled and we've been in, and the personality is probably looking at that going, do I really want that to be rewritten? Do I really want that to be overwritten? What'll happen to me when will I dissolve? Will I be gone? So there's this kind of subconscious conflict kind of happening as we move into the energies and into the love. So what I was kind of shown this morning is, looked at places that you've limited yourself in the past. You've come up against something where you went, okay, I can't get through this, or I can't move through this, or energetically or sensory wise. It's like things that you've already explored. Now you want to move into them with the awareness of, inside of that, maybe this is like an event horizon that you're moving into.
Why don't you give an example? Because you're talking in a very abstract kind of way.
I'll give you an example. So like when you smell a flower, Denise just brought these beautiful lilacs, right? And lilies.
They're blooming and they're good. Lilacs are done. They're May.
You can smell them. And then you bring them in, and they engage in your heart in a place that's not linear anymore. It's spherical. And you can get lost in the consciousness of it, the expansion of it, and it engages your heart so strong and so much that you almost black out. The blacking out would be the limitation, like, oh, and then you kind of go back into the third dimension. But what happens if you were to kind of pop through the other side of that, what you think you're going to black out? So you don't kind of go into, and it's like, it's an energy of your heart, or it's an energy of your smell, your higher senses. There's places that we can explore in those, in what we have already explored, that may open something up. So that's what I'm kind of getting. I don't know if that makes sense. Did that help at all, honey? Or am I speaking gibberish?
For me, I'll simplify it from in my, yeah, okay, yeah, transcendence, yeah. The opportunity of this time is to rewrite your patterns or recreate your patterns and to thread it in a way that is expansive and supportive and not confined within the matrix of the programming we've been subjected to for a long time. You know, so I have to work really hard to make money is one of them, right? I have to have a 9 to 5 job to support my family. Um, all those things. I need really good insurance because I might get sick. Those are part of the programming. I have to have so much money in the bank for me to retire. Those are all coming down. I have to have an education in order to succeed or to get a job. So lean into what's possible when you punch through. We're seeing a lot of people leave their corporate jobs. We've had a lot of people recently are saying, I'm complete. What does that look like? Are you going to write a book? Are you going to paint your paintings? Are you going to create an oracle deck? Are you going to become a healer, a beekeeper, whatever it is? So lean in the discomfort of punching through, and the things available to you are the smell of a lily that's just been cut from the garden that takes you to another place. So that's the portal we're in. And as we go into the 8-8, it's a solidifier. I mean, it's interesting, 8-8, all these different cultures talk about it. Even Punjaji, when we talked about to coming to do the yagya, he picked that weekend before and said, I'm coming with another pundit and we're going to do 3 days and we're going to do these programs because they're game changers. I mean, you will literally rewrite your trajectory in that quantum energy field. That's the opportunity right now. So there's things available. The fire of the yagya, the beauty of the plants, the power of swimming in the ocean, whatever it is, allow it to be with you and carry you, and it's going to be uncomfortable. My evening was not my night. Usually I love going, I mean, like I'm in a happy place, but it was not comfortable. I woke up this morning and I was like the grump, and I'm usually not grumpy when I wake up. So yeah. So enough said. Did I articulate?
You articulated very well, baby
Okay.
cakes. Very, very well.
Hopefully it was the message Michael was intending. So anyway. All right. So it's 10:16. So let's drop in, get comfortable. If you do have any comments, you can write them in the chat. We can address them. But good to see all of you, and make sure you're muted. Yeah, someone lost her hearing. Yeah, I lost a ring that was my grandmother's, and I feel like it went to the other side, and I'm talking to her like, can you just send it back? It wasn't real valuable, but it's more sentimental. So yeah. Anyway, so good. All right.
Yeah.
Let's
Let's get situated. Let's get comfortable. One of the things just want a presence about our meditations together. It's a collective vortex that we're creating, and that there's a unifying sentience, what we call usually our soul group or soul monadic structure. And so sometimes we feel that, and that's really kind of what we want to tune into as we're part of the flow of this group consciousness that we sometimes call humanity. Sometimes we call it the collective, the Archangel Michael collective, or the Magdalene collective, just all kinds of different collectives, so we are working at that level, And these meditations are actually activations. So you can kind of go back and listen to the meditation and see what's being activated for you. You know, sometimes we don't always know when we're doing what our higher self or our soul group, what is being birthed or activated in each of us individually, and what is it collectively that we're holding for humanity. So just kind of hold that awareness as we kind of go in and see what we're going to activate today. So take a deep breath into your heart and just hold. Just kind of hold at your heart center. Allow the prana life force to engage as you focus on your heart, and then just exhale. Again, breathing in. And as you presence your heart, you're presencing the secret space within your heart. There's layers or dimensions within your heart. So you're kind of going deeper and deeper with each breath, and then you're exhaling that energy that you've presenced out into your auric field. So it's like this source from within is filling the balloon with your prana, your life force. Breathing in. And as you hold in that in-between space, there's a charging that happens, a stillness. And then you exhale. And you illuminate and expand. One more time into your heart. Hold, and you may start to feel now your solar plexus, your sternum, engaging in front of you, and at the same time at the back, the heart field moving down your spine, kind of like clearing a path through your spinal column, exhaling out into your auric field, but at the same time also exhaling down. You're just following the current down through your spine. The energy is kind of moving into that place what you would call your tailbone. So you're breathing into your heart and exhaling through the spine and through the back of your tailbone. And so you're just presencing both energetic structures, your heart field, sternum, merge point at the front of your heart, and this tailbone at the bottom and the rear. Breathing in, holding and allowing the two to synchronize. And when you feel complete, see if you breathe through top or the bottom. Which point are you breathing through? Maybe one's more open than the other. Breathing in. Gently exhaling through your root and through your tailbone. Good. Our tailbone is open now. You may feel it like a balancing or an equilibrium. Bring your awareness to your root and presence it as like a illuminated disc at your perineum, pointing downward. It's like a torus field. And it's open now, so as you're breathing in, you can actually breathe in the prana from the core, the telluric energies of Mother Earth. Breathing in. Holding in your root chakra, feeding your root chakra, and then exhaling back down into Mother Earth. You may feel a little density there, just kind of clear it out. Breathing in. Holding it in your root, charging, 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 and then exhaling. And you might feel that this tube of light has become like a cylinder. And if you can, presence it moving down into the core of Mother Earth. And take it all the way into the core of Mother Earth. And you may feel that this cylinder is silvery, almost like a shimmering white silver energy. And just make sure that it kind of lands gently and softly into the heart or the core of Mother Earth. And you may even start to just breathe gently there, as if you're blowing prana or life force onto that connection, the silver thread of your life force into the core heart of Mother Earth. You may even notice being received a little deeper. You may even notice a gentle spinning of the core of Mother Earth, a clockwise spinning. Excellent. Now I want you to just kind of continue to just breathe as if you're breathing with the heartbeat of Mother Earth. So you're breathing at the core now, and you're synchronizing. And at the core, you want to breathe and then exhale outwards like a disc that goes out through the equator and creates a silver white disc around Mother Earth. Breathing in from the core, energy's coming in from the source heart of Mother Earth. And as you exhale, you're exhaling out through the silver disc that penetrates outwards into the atmosphere of Mother Earth. It's almost like she has her own silver white ring disc around the equator. And as you breathe more and you move your awareness into that disc, it's almost like that disc is holding very gently holding Mother Earth. You even say it's like a supporting structure of this silver white divine feminine consciousness. Right now, you're just kind of breathing with that, making it tangible to yourself, whether it be in your visioning or you're actually feeling that silver disc. And you're like pulling energy up through the core and then exhaling it out into the disc. And the disc itself is beginning to rotate. You may feel it rotating very slowly clockwise. You may even feel like the earth itself is, as it spins, there's like a little electromagnetic anti-gravity field. It's almost as if the earth is more buoyant, like it's floating in water or floating in a gravitational field. And it's this interaction between the core, the solid core that you are breathing from source out into the periphery of this disc. Excellent. Some of you may have seen that the disc kind of forms a silver white sphere around Mother Earth, but it's more like a force field and a blockage of anything. It's not, it's transparent. It's more like a nurturing field, a sovereignty field that protects her and nourishes and keeps her protected from the outside forces of the universe. You may begin to start to feel as that strengthening of that force field around Mother Earth, transparent. You also might start to feel you're connected through your sacral chakra. You may feel the opening at your belly button, moving outwards into your own auric field, which is also simultaneously the earth chakra moving into this auric field around Mother Earth. You're kind of creating this horizontal connection from your belly button, umbilical cord into your auric field and into the auric field of Mother Earth at this very high frequency, transparent, silver white consciousness. You may feel an opening at the back of your sacral chakra as the energy kind of comes around Mother Earth and then comes in through the back of your spine back into the sacral chakra, creating like a horizontal torus field. Excellent. And notice how you ground your root chakra and your tailbone. As this strengthening of this torus field is opening. It's almost like your lower half beneath the sacral chakra merges into the plasmic energy of the core of Mother Earth, into her planetary, plasmic, solar aspect. Good. Now the energy is kind of moving up into your solar plexus, and the same things. The opening at the front of your solar plexus, this golden thread is moving out forwards in a horizontal line into the silver white sphere around Mother Earth. And it's circumambulating around Mother Earth and coming in through the back of your solar plexus chakra. You may feel your solar plexus at your back of your spine, scintillating, responding, receiving. Now move up into your heart, and breathing through the source point of your heart, breathing outwards through your auric field, creating a horizontal connection to the source point or the event horizon or the silver white sphere of Mother Earth. The energy's spinning around Mother Earth and coming back behind, activating through your heart chakra. Keep breathing and moving the energy. You may feel it like as you're breathing, you breathe the energy up from the core of Mother Earth to your heart chakra, and then exhaling it from your heart chakra out into the planetary fields and back around. It comes into your heart. And just kind of allow that to continue, and just notice with a soft awareness how all three, sacral, solar plexus, and heart, are all horizontally connected front and back to the global silver white 12th dimensional divine feminine source code field of Mother Earth.
And from the awareness in your heart, you feel this plasmic, silver, shimmering light connecting you and the earth, connecting you with each other, forming divine geometry of perfect harmony. And as you breathe these lines, these energies through your spine, out through your heart, up through your head, down through your core, Divine Mother, known as White Calf Buffalo Woman, comes forward. She comes from the core of the earth. She lives on the disk that you're connected to. She weaves harmony, possibility, devotion, balance, flow, love, acceptance. She weaves it in and out of the shimmering light in the lines of the earth. She connects it to all of you. As you breathe her into your heart, you feel the presence, the strength, the wisdom, the clarity. And breathe with her and what she signifies: purity, unity, love, connection. Continue to breathe and expand your light, your heart, your connection to the earth, to this magnificent, brilliant grid, to each other. As you move the energy up and down your spine, out through your heart, all innate wisdom, divine intelligence flows through you. Feel the strength. the power, the beauty in the unity. You may become aware of being out in the cosmos, in a cave, on the earth, in a meadow, wherever you are is perfect. It's your place to anchor and receive the unity consciousness. Continue to breathe fully in your body, allowing these energies to interact with one another, to interact within you, to strengthen and expand as you vibrate and hold more and more of this light. You may notice beings, animals, lights, energies around you, colors. Just take note. These are key codes left for you to access, to serve. Just take a few moments and allow this exchange to happen. Feeling the infinite love and blessings and wisdom as you breathe in and connect these energies of these higher dimensions into Earth. And now the white buffalo comes forward. It's immense in its power, yet its gentleness as it comes towards you. You may reach out and touch it. Look into its eye. the entire history and possibility of the highest timeline is there. And very gently, you put your third eye, your forehead, to the forehead of the white buffalo. And you feel the expansion in your forehead, your pineal gland. She is offering you all her wisdom, for she holds the collective and the indigenous ones. And as you slowly step back, you look at her knowing you are changed. You hold the keys to serve the highest timeline for the collective, for humanity, for the planet in unity. And with her courage, her strength, and her wisdom, she bows to you. Knowing this is the time. So take a few moments, give thanks, become aware of where you are, whether you're in a meadow or cave, on the ocean, in the stars, anchoring, unifying, integrating, a shimmering disk of the divine feminine energy. The wisdom of the mother. Feel your heart expanding. Connecting it again with the core of the earth. For that is the portal that the white buffalo woman comes through. And you can connect to them anytime. And now becoming aware of each other as your grid continues to strengthen. You feel the flow of love and peace and unity, compassion and kindness. Weave its magical tapestry through you, around the earth, connected into the higher dimensional realities of balance, harmony, joy. And you can take a few moments here and just draw anybody in to this magnificent circle, grid, web, someone that may need healing, a place that needs our support, animals needing their freedom, the land needing our care, the oceans. Just put your intention there and spend a few minutes offering your service. And with a few more deep breaths, integrating and anchoring in this work, together as a collective, we seal it. Now come back into your physical body, becoming aware of the room or place that you are in this time space reality, knowing that it's all occurring simultaneously and it's already all happened. And breathing in through your chakras, through your heart, and allowing that golden disc, that silver disc of shimmering light to permeate throughout your field. Becoming aware of the palms of your hands, where you feel these discs inside your palm. And when you connect and you are in your heart and your energy is flowing in pure intention, you can activate these discs in your hands And you can make them wide and large or small to send love and light, to heal a body, to interact with a tree, to love yourself. These are part of your new superhuman traits coming online. Take a couple more big deep breaths, anchoring yourself in your spine, bringing all the aspects of yourself from the meditation that may have traveled to places back into your spine, into your body. Becoming aware of your physicality, your feet, your hands, your shoulders, your breath. And when you feel ready, you can open your eyes, come back into the room, bowing your head in gratitude for all the beautiful beings on this call and doing these meditations and connecting their hearts. And to beautiful, peaceful white buffalo woman and the white buffalo, her divine magic. And so it is.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Namaste.